sound awesome?
Yeah.
Do I sound awesome?
Hold on, what did you do?
I'm just very close to my mic.
There's no static though. Where's the static?
Could you hear static before?
There was static when we played games, so where did that go?
It's because it was coming from my port. It wasn't coming from the USB port. It was coming.
So what'd you do?
This is a USB microphone.
Oh.
It's not from the AV jack or whatever it's called.
Well, it sounds very clear and I don't hear anything in the background, so that's nice.
Yeah. You don't even hear the fan?
No. But I could hear my fan when I turned on my OBS, my streaming thing, to test the volume. I was like, I hear a lot of it. So this whole setup does not prevent any noise coming from, like, the outside.
Yeah.
You have to, like, barricade the whole room, because there's no door on this room.
Yeah.
So I'd have to put a door on the room, and then I'd have to put the adhesive strips on the door.
Apparently those don't stop sound though.
They don't, but they absorb, and and it would be. Why is it updating? But it would help.
So The Fall.
Oh, gee.
I watched The Fall.
Alright.
It's not The Fall. It's just Fall.
It's fall. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of it?
Well, you probably didn't see the movie that the guy wrote for before it. So, there's a movie called... Oh, no, not the beast! What was it called? It's a shark movie, anyways.
Was it Deep Blue Sea?
No, I love that movie. This is not Deep Blue Sea.
Was it Jaws?
No. It's a movie you probably never heard of. Oh, 47 Meters Down.
No. It sounds good, though.
No, it's...
I don't know.
But, anyways, the writer behind that movie directed Fall. So, in that movie, same scenario happens, but underwater. So, and it makes more sense in that movie, because obviously they got scuba tanks, so hallucinations can happen where in underwater, she hallucinates that her friend is still alive.
Yeah.
She actually died like 30 minutes beforehand.
Oh, it makes sense now. It makes sense.
So the director, who was the writer for 47 Meters Down, directed this one and did that same thing,
Dude,
except for
that blew my mind.
It did, because I was not surprised whatsoever once it happened, because everything after that felt very, like, by the numbers, and I was like, I see what's coming.
Yeah, well, yeah, after seeing that movie, I kind of get it. Like, when I started watching it, it was like 25 minutes in, I'm like, if they cut it right here, then it would just be like a story of a friend helping her friend, like, get over her fear. And I'm like, then you keep watching it, and it just completely undoes it. Just messes it all up. I'm like, whoa, man.
Okay, her boyfriend died in the beginning, right? It's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's not an old movie.
It's not, but it's in my head. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So.
Her boyfriend died, and then her dad tried getting a hold of her, and she became like an alcoholic, and then recovered overnight. You know, because a year of drinking alcohol and taking medications probably would wreak havoc on your system, and good luck just getting over alcoholism overnight.
It's not a terrible movie.
No,
it's not.
It was. I loved it. Like I more than liked it. I more than liked it. I'm like, I kept waiting too because I thought that her friend was going to fall and it was going to show like a really gruesome death, and my daughter was in the room and I didn't want her to see that, so I kept pausing it and she kept saying, "Daddy, keep playing it. Keep playing it." I'm like, no, I don't know when this is going to happen, but Angelo already spoiled it for me, so.
Oh, I was hoping that you wouldn't remember that I said that, but...
Yeah, well, I thought you were, because I never know with you, because you'll tell me this happens in the movie, and then it won't happen in the movie, and you'll be like, haha, gotcha. So I wasn't sure.
I didn't think you'd ever watch it, so that's why I was like,
I told
this
you
is not a movie that you would watch.
I saw it, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta watch that. And then you were talking about it, and you're like, yeah, she fell. And I'm like, are you frickin' kidding me?
Well, you told me you never watched TikTok, and you hate TikTok. And that's something, well, my wife is the one who's seen that on TikTok. It's very viral on TikTok. So I was like, there's no way he's gonna know about this movie, because it's a TikTok thing.
I don't watch TikTok. I saw it somewhere else.
Every time someone peddles a movie on TikTok, it's usually
alphabetical.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh man, this movie's so amazing!" Like hype it up on TikTok, and I'm just like, I'm not there for it because I'm like, I hate TikTok and I hate what it stands for, and people who talk about something on TikTok, it's usually
A, B, C.
I don't know, because it seems like a lot of people like it. It's got 79 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as critics.
So
critics like it.
You're talking about Rotten Tomatoes. Both the audience score and the Rotten score are both corrupted.
They did. I mean, I know they were talking about making it so you couldn't, so some people couldn't review.
They remove reviews all the time.
Yeah. Well, I did like it. I did like it, and I thought her.
Give me 1 sec. I have to check something before the house burns down. Just one sec.
2 seconds later.
What the? Alright. Explain.
What was I explaining?
What was that?
Oh, that was from the Batman, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. I sent it to you. I sent it to you in a message. It said,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I sent it to you. But I loved the way the whole movie played out. Like, I liked how, like, she was just completely defeated, destroyed, you know? And almost she was about to kill herself. And then her friend called, and it lit up, and she sat there and she stood there and she stared at the phone for a while before answering it. I just like how that played out. And then they get to the tower and she kept trying to back down. I think I could have done without her trying to back down so much. And then she'd get up there and she'd be like, nope, time to go down, nope, time to go down. It's like, dude, you're already on the tower. And I suppose that's relatively true for some people.
That's what I forgot about the movie, though.
Yeah.
It was the scenes, like, her knowing and remembering, and then, like, everything she put 2 and 2 together about her boyfriend cheating on her.
Yeah, the fact that, first of all, it wasn't even her boyfriend, it was her husband.
Dude,
yeah.
Like I said, it's not a very, like, it's one of those movies that you just forget where, you know, Stephen King is, like, jerking off to because he enjoyed it so much. He wished he made that story. It just shows how much
I don't see the relevance. Did he like the movie?
He loved the movie. He said he wished he wrote it. I'm just like, oh.
He could have never written anything that good.
Dude, First of all, old Stephen King wrote some good stories.
No, dude.
Yes, he did.
Dude, he's
Yes,
a freaking
he did.
overrated, weird ass.
Prefix.
That's what he is.
Oh, hold on. Just because in his beliefs and all that stuff, I don't believe in what he's crazy. Okay, but there are books that he has written that were really good, like Dreamcatcher, for instance.
Yeah, Dreamcatcher was pretty good.
Yeah. Like the movie was also enjoyable, but
yeah, I didn't read Dreamcatcher. I just watched the movie. The movie was still a little messed up.
oh, I was told I'm never allowed to read that book again in school. So
Why? Angela, you've been checked out for 12 years. You can't read it, or 11 years. You can't read it again. It's like, what do you mean? I think you're a little obsessed.
Well, it's because Stephen King likes to go into detail about sex. So it's like a bunch of F words and and all this stuff. So that's probably the reason why a teacher was like, yeah, you can't read that here.
They wouldn't do that anymore. But anyway, yeah, no, I liked, I don't know, I liked the whole way it, played out. Like, she had that infection, and for a minute I thought she was just gonna die at the top of the tower. I wasn't even sure. Because she was so close. Although I don't like how at the end of the movie, she's like, let's go home, when she's clearly got an infection. Like, a bad infection, like, almost, like, you are gonna die infection. And she's just like, let's go home.
There was a lot cut out of the film.
Oh, yeah?
I can tell you, just by watching it, I think, anyways. I'm not saying that there was. I just feel like there was a lot cut out.
I think there's things that they could have left in. Like, or they should have added in. Because her friend was dead, and the vultures were eating her. And then she beat the vulture to death and ate the vulture. It's like kind of eating your friend.
She would have actually got really, really sick from that. And
she was already really sick. There was nothing that.
I mean, that would have probably ended up killing her then, because vultures, especially raw, you eating that, because they eat all sorts of shit, like dead shit. So. Yeah. Eating that raw would probably kill her.
It was still really freaking cool. It was still really cool. Because I saw that coming, though. I did, because her friend was like, you have to eat something. And she's like, there's nothing to eat. And she's like, there's always something. You know? Her friend that wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. She's like, when she's like, give me your other shoe, I need something to use as padding. Because we're going to try it with my phone. And she's like, we can't, my shoe's down there. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, your shoe, you're wearing your shoe. And she's like, I am down there. And I'm like, whoa! Like, whoa, that's freaking wild.
That's just crazy, because my experience was different, and I looked at my wife, I looked over, I was like, I saw that. Like, I saw that coming a mile away. Like, it just, I don't know, it didn't click with me, it did not. Because knowing where he came from, the last film, see, I can't just look at a film and be like, yeah, and experience it for what it is. I look at, who's doing the work, how good they do the work, and what they did in the past. And if I see similarities about something they did in the past, I know, forget about the past.
No, but that's what's spoiling it for you.
Shows what future cousins.
If you would have went in blind, you would have been like,
no way. I never watched the trailer.
But you knew who directed it, though.
Yeah.
Hold on, 1 second. Okay, cool. You looked up who did it, and you're like, oh yeah, I could see him doing something like this. But you could have went into it blind, and then you're like, oh, I know who did this. That'd be better, right?
I don't think it would. I still don't think it would make a better experience.
No.
I just thought it was generic. I don't think it was anything special. And people said, "Oh, the height got to me. Like, it's so high up, and it felt like it." I didn't feel that either. I was very much like, it feels staged. I could tell they were on a set.
Yeah. I didn't think that I didn't. Like, she kept getting... She's someone who has climbed before. So I don't imagine that her fear would be from the height itself as much as the memory. Like, constant PTSD triggers would have been something.
Another...
like an absolute fear, like a sudden fear of height is like, I don't know.
Yeah. Another
But then
thing
again,
was it?
I'm not in that. Like, it's like, you know when you talk to someone and they've been in a car accident and then they're afraid to drive after that?
I actually never have talked to anybody that was in a car accident, so...
I have.
I've been in car accidents.
I've been in a car accident. I have.
I just never talked to anybody. Well, I'm talking to you right now.
But I know people who've been in accidents and they're just like, oh, I'll never drive. I can't do this. It gives me PTSD. But then I've also met people who, like, were severely hospitalized in accidents. I've met people who watched people die in car accidents. And they're just like, they'll drive. They'll ride around in a car. No problem. But then there's people who get into, like, fender benders and they're like, I'll never drive again. And that's kind of what it felt like, you know? But then again, at the same time, she did watch her husband die. And the fact that who marries a man that can't say I love you?
And does the thing with the fingers.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she thought it was unique. That's just.
I mean, it was, but it's a massive red flag. It's a failure to commit.
You know, it's like social, like just communication.
Yeah.
And failure to tell your other significant other.
Yeah. It's
what's going on.
If they can't.
So,
like, at least he's honest, right? Because he did cheat on her. So, but then again, he was also doing that with her too. The 143. He was also doing that with her, and that's what makes it kind of like, because he can't say I love you. I wish they would have flushed that out a little bit more.
I mean, it was implied.
It was.
I mean, I
guess they don't have to flush it out.
Yeah, it's subtle. So those scenes were okay. I just think the crux of the movie, like the whole point of the movie, like I didn't like the whole thing with the, what do you call them? I always forget the name. The drones. Yeah, I hated that.
I didn't
like
notice.
the drones sucked. Like
the drone.
The drone scene. Yeah, the drone.
Oh man,
drone,
I honestly thought you'd like that.
No, it was just, it felt very like, yeah, obviously it's gonna die. And
yeah.
It's just a predictable thing.
When the guy stole her car,
get out of this.
When the guy stole her car, that was something else.
I don't remember that.
So they shot the flare out. You know, like the guy walked up talking on the phone and saw the broken ladder on the floor and saw like the tires and stuff, and he was on the phone with his buddy. And then they shot the flare towards him so that he could see the flare, and they're like, oh yes, he can see us. And that's the, what's that called in movies? The hero's journey? That's the part of the hero's journey where it's, oh yes, finally, success, and then fail. Because the guy's like, screw these guys, they're trapped at the top of the tower, what are they going to do? I'm just going to steal their car.
Yeah.
So he just stole their car. What I thought was going to happen was after she unscrewed that light bulb, I thought they were going to send an engineer out, and the engineer was going to be like, holy crap, there's this dying woman at the top of this tower. Because the light has to be on. If the light goes out, the planes can't see the tower.
Yeah. You had a totally different experience from what I had. It just wasn't. Yeah, I was like, all these scenes because of hope of getting something to happen. I knew that something was going to come her way that was like, that clicked in her head that she had to do. It wasn't going to be someone on the ground that was going to make it easy for her. I just knew that wasn't going to be the case.
Yeah.
It just, but, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that experience movies different, and I'm just one that's like, I'm like going hard in, like I'm looking at this, and I'm like, always having a critical eye on that stuff, so.
Yeah. The drone, like, I liked the drone scenes. The power went out and then she had to use her head and unscrew the light bulb, but I thought that it was going to be, the light bulb was out and they were going to send someone up to fix it. But when the drone got hit by the car, because, like, I didn't pay attention to where I was at the movie, in the movie, I'm like, any time, like, they could do something successful and someone could come and save them. Having to push her dead friend off the tower, this is it. This is where the success is going to come from. I'm sorry you didn't like it. I wish you would have liked it. You shouldn't have watched that shark movie first.
Yeah.